So 2K right now just ended up releasing official NBA 2K24 gameplay, which means that it is 100% real, and you guys gotta let me know what you think about it, and like the video if you're ready for 2K24. And there's a lot that we gotta cover, like new animations, shot timing, defense, offense, adrenaline boost. There's so much that 2K ended up releasing, even takeover. And we're gonna get started with pro play because that's one of the emphasis that 2K is really trying to let everybody know, is the fact that they're actually going to be implementing real life NBA footage into NBA 2K24. And you guys can actually see the perfect example right here with Kevin Durant. Basically, they're taking the movement, the exact movement you see in real life, but they're putting it in the game. And you can actually see Kevin Durant, like his head moving. You can see every little movement, and you can actually experience the NBA, but in 2K24. And so that means that we're going to be getting a lot of animations. There's going to be a lot of changes, and 2K already covered a lot of stuff. And you guys can see some more of the gameplay, you know, some more of the footage that 2K ended up officially releasing. And now, obviously, if you've been playing 2K for a while, then you know that it comes down to execution, how they implement certain things, because they could literally be like, hey, this is the best game ever, but if they don't implement the things properly, then it's not going to be the best game ever, you know what I mean? And so you can definitely see more of the animations, basically a lot of, you know, pro play, gameplay, stuff like that. Basically, again, it's just going to be incorporated into 2K24. And in my opinion, I do like the fact that 2K is changing up the gameplay, because a lot of people say that the game looks the same, and I'm over here just thinking, I mean, it's basketball, how different do you want it to look, right? And so at least 2K is doing something different. They also ended up listening to the 2K community, and they're implementing a lot of stuff. For example, we have new controller settings, and the best part about this is that you can actually customize almost everything on the screen. For example, your shot meter, so you can definitely make it bigger, smaller, you know, your player indicator, your fatigue bar, and so much more. And I love the fact that 2K is doing that. This is actually coming from Mike Wang. Obviously, he's like the lead developer. He's like the guy that everybody, you know, listens to when it comes to gameplay, everything that we know about the game. And speaking of releases and shot timing, it is coming back, but it is going to be toned down for 2K24, and now we'll have, you know, shot timing stability, and the higher that is, the less you'll be affected by fatigue and defense. And so it's going to be a whole different system, but it is still going to be there. So the shot timing, you know, per release is definitely going to still be there. You know, if you're tired, it's going to be slower. If you're getting defended very well, it's going to be a different release, and so on. And now Mike Wang also let us know that by turning off our meter, we actually end up getting a 20% increase when it comes to the green window. And so he's definitely recommending everybody to turn off their meter when it comes to 2K24, because you end up getting a 20% boost. That's insane, bro. And that's going to be, you know, online, and your opponent and teammates will not be able to see your shot meter online. And I will say, I kind of wish I could see the shot meter for everybody else, because then that way I could see if they're lying or they're telling the truth. Because you know that teammate, you know, they'd be like, hey, I full barred that, it should have been a green, but then in reality it probably was like half bar, or maybe not even a third of the way, you know, filled. And so I kind of wish we could see that, but you do end up getting a 20% boost if you do take off your meter. And on top of that, they also ended up buffing fades when it comes to the mid-range, but they actually ended up nerfing the three-point fades, because a lot of people were cheesing in 2K23 from the three-point line by fading, and so that got nerfed. But again, the mid-range ended up getting buffed. And then also when it comes to the green animation, you do end up getting one for every made green 3 outside of 15 feet, but also there is a slight delay for that still suspense, you know, feeling. Even though I feel like at this point, I think they should definitely just give you the option whether you want to get it right away or if you get it delayed, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a great addition, especially since they want to customize other things. But then on top of that, they also are changing the contest system, and they're actually going to be putting more emphasis on body position instead of hand position. So it's going to come down to where your player is. Obviously, if you're behind them, it's not going to be as effective. If you're on the side and so on, it's going to be based where your body is positioned instead of your hand. And also when it comes to defense, they're buffing paint defense, which I'm glad to see that, because my goodness, bro, in 2K23 there was no paint defense. I'm sure you guys would agree with that, right? A lot of people were complaining about it, and this is one of the examples that, you know, 2K is actually listening to the 2K community, and they're putting an emphasis on paint defense, which you do love to see. And now 2K did also confirm that we're going to be getting a lot of new animations, which definitely does make sense with pro play and everything else that they're trying to do for 2K24. And they actually already said that there's like over 150 of them, and so there's definitely going to be a lot of variety when it comes to, you know, building a my player and different animations in different game modes as well. And there's still so much more. Now also 2K did end up revealing a courtside report. You guys can actually see players who play on Hall of Fame difficulty or in the rec or city will be playing with green or miss shot timing. And so green or miss is still going to be there, but it's only going to be in rec or city or Hall of Fame difficulty. And so you're definitely going to have to learn your release. But also when it comes to other game modes, for example, quick play, my NBA, or my team, they'll be more forgiven, because obviously you do end up playing with other players, especially my team. You know, you play with Shaq, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron, all these players. And so you won't have to memorize every single player's release, you know, to the exact exact frame to be successful. And they're also changing even more when it comes to the shot timing. For example, now instead of it being time-based, you can set your desired release point based on certain animation cues, like the jump or also set point or shot release. You know, it depends where you want to see the release, and then that way you can actually, you know, time it and be more familiar with it. And they do also still have the layup timing, which according to Mike Wang, you can actually turn off, but he is saying if you turn it on and you actually master it, it's going to be very effective, especially when it comes to finishing, you know, at the rim and everything like that. And for dunkers, it's going to be something similar too, where you can actually trigger different dunks and also rim hanging and stuff like that. But also don't forget that the meter dunks are green or miss on higher difficulty levels now, so you have to be precise when you're finishing off a gem when it comes to 2K24. And then when it comes to playing in the paint, 2K does say that bigs are going to have a lot of fun dominating down low. You know, they're going to be able to put putbacks off offensive rebounds and so on. Basically your typical stuff that they say every year when it comes to playing in the paint. And now 2K also is changing the adrenaline boost, and so it's going to be completely different. For example, if a defender is actually bumping you and everything like that, you're actually going to feel that a lot more in 2K24. And then obviously it's going to be different. For example, you're not going to be losing an adrenaline boost when you're pulling off the dribble combos or whipping short distances. Stuff like that is going to give you more of a flexibility when it comes to dribbling. And so adrenaline boosts are still going to be available in 2K24, but according to 2K, it's going to be slightly different and it's going to be better, at least according to them. And then of course, when it comes to defense, they do now say that it's going to be skill based, and so you're actually going to have more control, which I do love the sign of that, because a lot of the times I feel like your opponent definitely gets bailed with certain animations, but now you're actually going to be able to play defense. And I do like the fact that 2K is putting some emphasis on defense, and then that way if you're a defender and you know how to play D, you're going to be successful in 2K24. And then something else that 2K ended up changing is the takeover system, and so now you're actually able to choose the takeover that you get. If you do end up getting 2 of those bars fully filled, you actually end up getting double takeover, even though I kind of wish that you would get the takeover based on what you're doing. For example, if you're shooting from 3 like Steph Curry, you should get sharp takeover. If you're dunking like Vince Carter, you should get, you know, finishing and so on. But by the looks of it, you actually get to choose the one that you end up getting, and so you can literally just dunk a few times and then you can choose playmaking, sharpshooter, and so on. And we do also have to talk about the freelance system that they're implementing, because I love the sound of this right here, because they're giving us way more control over the 5v5 setting. For example, in my team, you're actually able to control the players, and every single person that has played 2K before has experienced that fast break cheese where your player literally cuts to the basket for no reason. Instead of getting open for a 3, they want to go into the paint and just completely ruin your fast break. And so now you actually have control over that, and I love that right there. You can actually read that 2K basically is giving us more control over the AI, but again, it comes down to how 2K is going to be implementing a lot of the things that they're talking about. And so I do want to hear from you guys. I'm going to be reading every comment, and I'll be replying to you if you have any questions, because I know we covered a lot in this video, but I just wanted to give you guys the new gameplay and so on. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out the other videos I've been uploading, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.